Hey guys, welcome back to fullboresilver. Well, you know what happens when they slam the white metals. We rub the white dog, and that's the good luck charm. Okay, I know. Anyway, after an epic morning, up around 118, they slammed the COMEX paper price. During illiquid hours in the worldwide market, Shanghai had to take their blissful beauty sleep, and that's when the bankers struck. Probably a good opportunity for them, a lot of them, to exit shorts. God have mercy on Toronto Dominion. But yeah, they slammed it back down. We are forming a bottom wick tweezer pattern right now. We're already on the way back up. We've reclaimed off of 101 back to 107. So we never said it wasn't going to be volatile, exciting. But, you know, it's like when I used to watch sports ball. Nobody likes it when one team is ahead 74-0. You like it when your team comes back from a deficit. And so that's what we're getting with these markets. We're battling back. It's going to be really interesting here when Shanghai opens in about 45 minutes to see what the rest of the world makes of this slam. This opportunity, really, as I've said in the past, it actually presents a national security threat when these idiotic bankers submarine the price. Then futures traders and traders from other countries that are desperate for these industrial metals it acts as a vacuum, and it sucks the physical out of COMEX and out of Western hands, and then it lands back in China. China already refined 75% of the metals, so I guess they're just going to take the rest of them. And AI, as we stated earlier today in the other video, it's going to be built on all pipe dreams and DEI and lots of inclusivity, which is very, very important. So we'll see what happens with these markets here in about 45 minutes. Interesting story for you. So I've been pecking around on Facebook Marketplace and, just kind of trying to track the underground market, if you will. People selling 3, 4, 10 ounces here, some constitutional silver. Okay, somebody was upset. I called it junk silver. I don't want to get into the semantics. I'm just going off of what, Sheckman and Bill Holter call it. But constitutional silver, you've got your Morgan dollars and other coins here and there and a couple rounds. Anyway, I found a bar, a 10-ounce bar that I took interest in. And I own the exact same bar, so my thinking was I couldn't put it through my coin tester, but what I could do is use my calipers to measure it. I could use an ice test. I could put it on the gram scale, and then I could compare exactly all the measurements and the graphics with the bar that I already owned. So some individual on Facebook Marketplace locally in Central Texas was selling this item. And so this was last night. Markets, I guess, were about 103, 105, but it was a real purty bar, and I'm not going to haggle over 50, 60, 70 bucks. So I bought it at 108 per ounce from this individual and agreed to meet up at a bank today in Austin to grab this. Now, as you remember, if you are old enough to remember this morning, we were almost at 118, and so I'm halfway to the bank with my 9mm and my nearly $1,100, and this guy texts me and says, I'm not feeling real good about this sale anymore. I don't know if you've seen the markets, but they're through the roof. In fact, I don't want to let this bar go unless you compromise with me and you pay me another $200-300 on the bar. I became infuriated, pulled over the truck, and I was like, listen, you absolute clown. This is not how business is transacted. You honor the deal as a man, honor the price we decided upon. Sorry, brief interlude, we had a dog break in. Dude's a little ham. Anyway, I told this guy, this is not how you do business. You honor your word. I'm not going to protect daily market fluctuations. If silver happened to retrace the 50-day moving average, which is 69 bucks, I wouldn't be sitting here crying trying to cancel the deal. I'd buy it at what I agreed to because I'm a man. I care about my reputation. I'm honorable. And that's how I've done business for the last 25 years. I said, if you're trying to hike the price on me due to a fluctuation on COMEX prices, then you can keep the bar. And the guy never responded to me and relisted the item at like 120 an ounce or something crazy, right? But immediately after this happened, the price absolutely plummeted to, I guess we ended up at around 101. And so, I mean, karma is a bitch, I'm telling you. So he looks like a clown. I gave him a scathing review on Facebook Marketplace. I happen to have a mutual friend who went to high school with the guy. I told him and his lady all about it. So it's, why would you besmirch your reputation and your honor as a man and go back on your word like that? I don't know. So you can't trust everyone out there. And hey guys, I mean, I hate to break it to you, but not every metal stacker is a good human being. And it kind of leads me to this. Matthew 26:14 through 16. Then one of the 12, the one they called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and asked, "What are you willing to give me if I hand Jesus over to you?" And they set out for him 30 pieces of silver. So from then on, Judas looked for an opportunity to betray Jesus. Don't sell your soul for 30 pieces of silver, or 10 pieces in this case. Maintain your honor as a human being. We don't worship the monetary value of this incredible precious metal. We use it as a means to indemnify our family's financial protection and as kind of an escape hatch for this crazy global fiat debt-based usury financial system that the elite have set up to trap a lot of people. But you're forward thinking, and so you're stacking the precious metals, and I really appreciate you for watching and listening. Now, today's huge pullback, I think, also provided a lot of really constructive lessons. Number one, do not chase price. You should not have been buying miners or equities as this thing was racing up this morning. What you do is you formulate a plan, you dollar cost average on pullbacks, and so this afternoon was the perfect opportunity to DCA back into Hecla or Core or some of the really top-notch miners, or just sit on your hands and sit on your precious metal stack, your physical stack. As Buffett said, and I don't necessarily agree with everything Buffett stands for, but as Buffett said, be fearful when others are greedy, be greedy when others are fearful. And if you were buying equities and miners this morning as we were racing up, then you're in the normie crowd. Use your head. Think outside of the herd. Do not be the wildebeest that's trying to cross the river with crocodiles all around you. Okay? Think for yourself. You should have been dollar cost averaging this afternoon when everybody was running for the hills because a few COMEX banks and probably UBS and HSBC and European banks were trying to deep six this thing so they could get out of some of the shorts. So anyway, that's your update. We're already coming back, and one of the commenters said his projection was 120, 125 by the end of the week. It is entirely possible. So let's watch this. Stand by about a half an hour until Shanghai opens up. We'll talk to you soon. Full bore silver out.